Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Joemo Show, and welcome back to Joemo Predicts. We haven't done this in a while, but with March Madness right around the corner in 2 days, I believe, felt like the perfect time to bring back Joemo Predicts. So, we're going to be predicting perfectly March Madness. Now, I'm going to try to make sure this is not that lengthy of a video, because I know this can be a lengthy process. So I'm going to try my best to get through it. A few things. When I fill out my bracket, I do like all of the round of 64 within the round of 32. I don't do like each section. I don't like doing that. Just to let you know. I know a lot of people have their different methods. My method is correct because this is the year that I get it perfect. And I win that $1 million from ESPN or whatever they give out. So let's start out with the number one team, Gonzaga, losing to Georgia State. I'm kidding. Gonzaga will win. Now, this will be the game that is the toughest to pick throughout the entire tournament. The 8 and 9 matchup. Got Boise State and Memphis. I mean, Boise State doesn't really play against great teams. Memphis didn't play horrible against Houston the other day. I'm going to go with Memphis. Now, that pick probably doesn't matter because they have to meet Gonzaga next. Now, UConn and New Mexico State. Mexico State sometimes has some interesting teams. Tall guards, apparently. I like UConn's team this year. I thought that they were going to be a higher seed, but Big East, I think. And Big East is just a tough conference, so that's probably why they're only a 5 seed. Arkansas and Vermont. I thought very highly of Arkansas early in the year, and they didn't do as good as I thought they would. They lost to Oklahoma by 22. Yikes. It's tough. Got a Vermont team that only gives up 60 a game. BPI's 38 and you're ranked 13. I think this is where we get our first upset. Let's go Vermont. Now Alabama against Rutgers / Notre Dame. Another thing I'll put out there: 11 seeds having to play to get into the tournament is stupid. Make it, if you're still gonna have them, make them all 16 seeds. That's gonna be the last time I complain about that. I think Alabama wins this game. I think they have too good of offense against both those teams. Montana State and Texas Tech. That I don't have to look at that. Michigan State and Davidson. This is going to be a tough game to pick. I mean, Davidson probably slipped down to 10 because they didn't win their conference tournament. They beat Alabama. Yeah, just Davidson's team just is kind of built from March. So this is going to be interesting. Another thing I obviously watched like the selection show. I didn't think about who I was going to pick as much. I wanted the full thought process to be right now. As you can see. Do I go another upset? Michigan State's got some injuries too, I believe. I'm gonna go Davidson. They're just a team built for March. 3-point shooters and very technically sound team, and then Duke's obviously gonna beat that team. Now down to the East. Obviously, Baylor is gonna win that game. don't clip any of this when I say obviously someone's going to win, and if they lose, it'll be bad. North Carolina and Marquette. Another obviously 8-9 game. I think both teams at the, well, God, UNC was only 2-4 versus top 25. Marquette played 12 games against top 25. They beat Villanova twice. Jesus. This one might be one of the tougher ones. It kind of just snuck up. And both teams are kind of similar with the points per games. I think North Carolina's bigs are going to be able to carry them, I believe. This one, I am in a toss-up. Because it's St. Mary's or Indiana and Wyoming. I know St. Mary's beat Gonzaga. So they're a good team. But this one's tough. I know picking them would give me both the options. But I would lean on the side of Indiana being able to win. And I know from last year, UCLA was a bubble team. They made it to like the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight, I think. So I think just getting that first game out of the way too just gets rid of some jitters. I'm gonna go for it. I believe that's going to be Indiana, but I think Wyoming has a decent shot too. Speaking of bubble teams from last year, UCLA and Akron. UCLA has basically everybody back plus the center from Rutgers last year. I do know. So yeah, UCLA is experienced in these games. And here's another one that's pretty tough. I mean, Texas is a great defensive team. I mean, BPIs are right next to each other. Virginia Tech, obviously the big ACC conference tournament champions. God, this one's tough. And Texas is historically bad as of late in March. New coach, so I mean, I like Texas. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to try not to second guess myself, but I just think Texas can stop Virginia Tech. I don't think Virginia Tech had to really play against a defense like Texas all year, really. And Purdue beats Yale. Murray State, I think. I mean, both these teams are from conferences not that great. Surprised that they let them match up. And then Kentucky's winning that game. Up to the south. That sounds odd. Arizona wins. Seton Hall and TCU. I gotta try to keep bias out here. Twice. Beat Texas. I don't think Michigan should be on there. I mean, TCU's a tough team. They got a point guard that is a good scorer, but I think I gotta go Seton Hall there. Houston, I personally think should be a higher seed than a 5, so I think they win. I know the selection show guy on this game had Chattanooga, but the fact that they're 0-0 versus top 25 teams, yeah, I don't think so. Even though I don't really like Illinois. Sorry, Illinois fans. But I don't see Chattanooga doing that. And Michigan, of course, of all teams that shouldn't make the tournament, gets freaking Colorado State, which is just ridiculous. The committee needs to be fired for this. I mean, I don't want to pick Michigan because I don't think they deserve to be in the tournament. But I feel like I have to pick Michigan. Because I don't like Michigan, I'm going Colorado State. I usually don't do picks like that, but I feel like I have to. Tennessee wins that game. Ohio State and Loyola Chicago. Another Big Ten team, shocker, that got too high of a seed. I know. Maybe that's because there's too many cheering people in the Big Ten, or Big Ten fans that are on the committee. Thoughts? You know what? I like Loyola. I don't think Ohio State's really that great this year. I never really saw Loyola, but I believe in them. Now to the Midwest. Kansas wins that game. Creighton, San Diego State. The last 8 and 9 team or matchup. Like 57.7 points per game allowed. I think Creighton just made it to the the championship in their tournament. But that 57.7 is very convincing for San Diego State to win that. Iowa, another team that should be higher ranked, in my opinion. Providence and South Dakota State. I know Providence did not play very good. I think they got beat by Villanova. I don't remember who they lost to in their tournament. But you see 86.7 points per game. So I'm assuming that means a kind of run and gun team. And they won 21 straight. Man, that's just the team that can beat them. I like South Dakota State to set up a high-scoring matchup there. Iowa State and LSU. Another tough matchup. Iowa State beat Iowa by 20 at some point. And LSU having a new head coach, which is odd. I like Iowa State in that game. Wisconsin and Colgate. I think Colgate was like a big sleeper team last year, or they almost beat Arkansas, I think. And then USC and Miami. As a Kansas fan, I know USC is built different. And Auburn wins that game. So no really big upsets. I mean, a few big upsets, but 3 upsets in March. Gonzaga, Memphis. Gonzaga wins that game. UConn, Vermont. I don't know if Vermont is going to be the team to make it to the Sweet 16. Texas Tech and Alabama. I think Texas Tech's defense is going to catch Alabama off. Get off guard. That's what I'm looking for. Baylor, North Carolina. I don't think this is nowhere near the Baylor team as last year, but I like Baylor over North Carolina. And then Wyoming or Indiana. I believe Indiana, but I think UCLA wins that game. Texas and Purdue. Very good defense versus a very good offense. Trying to think, because I know both these teams kind of well. I'm trying to think if Texas has a good matchup for Purdue's really good guard. I know they don't really have a good matchup for their 7'4" guy. I'm trying to think. Yeah. I'm trying to keep my Big 12 bias out of it, but I mean, Texas has a good matchup for Purdue's best player because Texas had a good matchup for Kansas' best player, who's one of the best players in college basketball, as well as this Purdue guy, ID. Or wait, I can't remember that guy's name. I'm gonna go Texas. I know historically they've sucked in March, but new coach who I'm not a fan of anymore. But yeah, Murray State and Kentucky. I think Kentucky wipes the floor with them. Arizona and Seton Hall. Arizona's a good team. Houston and Illinois. Illinois fans look away. The Houston team's just different. Colorado State and Tennessee. I'm still questioning whether I should have Michigan or Colorado State there. Mm. I gotta look at this matchup again. I know I said I would try not to do this, but if I'm gonna get the perfect bracket, beat St. Mary's, beat Creighton, Boise State twice. They play slow. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it with Colorado State, I guess. But then Tennessee beats them. Villanova's a really good team. I don't think Loyola can beat them. Kansas City, yeah. And then the high ramp offenses. Iowa's playing really good right now. Just won the Big Ten tournament. I think Iowa wins that game. Iowa State and Wisconsin. Yeah, I think Wisconsin. I think the only reason Iowa State wins this game is because of LSU's craziness. USC and Auburn. Hmm. I'm gonna do something crazy. I like USC in that matchup. Lengthy team, play slow. Auburn tries to go fast and try to shoot threes. I think USC will be able to get some good contests on them. Maybe. Gonzaga, UConn. Gonzaga. Texas Tech and Duke. This one's another toughie. I like experience. Texas Tech has a lot of experience. Duke, not so much. Baylor and UCLA. I like Baylor. I feel like Baylor's two guards are too good for UCLA to stop consistently. That's going to be where Texas's run comes to a screeching halt. Arizona and Houston. I like Arizona in that matchup. Tennessee, Villanova. I'm personally a big fan of both these teams. Villanova's playing great. Tennessee's also playing pretty great. God. Both are experienced to a degree. Both teams are basically the exact same. Wow. Jesus Christ. Same record, nearly the same points per game. nearly the same opponent's point per game, and separated by basically zero BPI. I couldn't come back to it. Kansas, Iowa. I think Kansas wins that game. Wisconsin, USC. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I love him. I love him not. Yeah, sure. And then Tennessee, Villanova. I think Tennessee athleticism wins them that game. Now, what are we? Elite Eight? I think Gonzaga's a little too good for Texas Tech there. I just feel like I have to. Arizona, Tennessee. I guess I like Arizona. And Kansas, USC again, which was the matchup last year that Kansas got walloped in, but Evan Mobley is not on the court. So I like Kansas. So, a risky thing I'm doing here. All 1 seeds and a 2 seed, but you know, whatever. Whatever. Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do what everyone says not to do? Everyone's picking Gonzaga. I personally think Kentucky matches up great with them. I think the Kentucky team is very underrated, even though they are 2 seed. I know they're a 2 seed, but I still think they're underrated. God. I know I'm a Kansas fan. I'm going to try to keep that out of my. I feel like I haven't seen enough of Arizona. That's my problem because they always play late. I'm not a night owl. Just wish I could have seen more Arizona. I think Kansas gets the revenge. I know everyone's going to hate that, but I feel like I have to. And the score, I don't know. 78 to 22. So there's my bracket. I know it might be a very biased situation, but I mean, still, I'm still questioning Gonzaga and Kentucky. I'm gonna keep it. Oh, that's tough. That's a tough one. So yeah, there's the bracket. I'm going to I'm gonna do like one little look over again. So I had my fair share of upsets. I feel like you always need to sprinkle those in because that's always gonna happen. I think this I honestly I honestly can say that going into it I wasn't planning on picking Kansas. I feel like I have to say that, but that's what I've come to. I mean, I know that's a case scenario of me not watching Arizona enough. I obviously watched the majority of the Kansas games. I mean, I watched Kentucky beat the crap out of Kansas. I know that kind of is bad, probably for this, but I'm going for it. I feel like Gonzaga not playing anybody all year besides the year. I understand they play people at the beginning of the year, but comes down to it, I don't think they're going to be ready for that. There it is. If you guys made it this far, I know you probably disagree with me, which that's reasonable. But if you made it this far, please like, please subscribe. And until I see you guys in another video.